What up, dog?
What's up, man? Thanks, man, for allowing me to come over and meet your dog. I was just kidding.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah,
he
but
doesn't like one of Madeline's friends, even.
really?
Just like a
He just-
normal ass white girl.
Oh, really?
It's not
That's
even
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to have a pit bull, and but he was used to us. But it's all good, brother.
Did he not like white people?
Are we going based off?
Was it like a reverse thing?
Yeah. Are we going because I mentioned something about that yesterday?
What?
I think I sent you a text about that. Like, did I say like? Does your
I
dog
told
like
you
black
that my
people?
dog hasn't met a lot of black people,
Oh, okay.
so I don't know
All
how
right.
he's gonna
Yeah.
react.
Okay. All right. Well,
I was
he
honest.
did pretty good.
Yeah, it was good.
He just has the peanut butter.
He just
He'll be
reacted.
fine.
No, he
Now
just.
he runs out of peanut butter. I don't know what
He'll
we're
be
gonna.
good.
I don't know what we're gonna
He'll
do.
be all right. But he reacted to you just like you're just a new person, regardless
Right.
of color.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
good, man. Man, it's been a while. I just wanted to welcome everybody to another episode of the Not Alright podcast. We are at Jeremy's casa. It's actually pretty nice in here. So
Hell yeah, dude. The set of the Peel and Onions podcast.
Yeah, right. Yeah, man. So
Our last episode we actually just did on the couch.
on the couch. Wow. Yeah,
Mhm.
I did see that, and then I appreciate the shout out for the Not Alright podcast the other day too.
Always,
really,
dude.
really helpful. But dude, I fucking missed you, man. Like I literally,
missed you too, bro.
I freaking missed you. I was like, man, like we did the last episode you weren't in because you wasn't able to make it, unfortunately. But like I was just like, man, this episode would have been like 20 times better. It was a good episode,
Thanks, dude.
but it would have been even better like if I had my guy with me. So
It has to have been like a month and a half.
yeah, it has
since we
been a
did
month
our-
and a half. I definitely
like
life obviously gets in the way.
Oh yeah.
And for me, I was actually going through a tough time. I was going through a really tough time, and I think you reached out to me not too long ago, like a couple of weeks back, and was like, "Dude, just checking in. Are you okay?" And it really helped like a lot, man, because I was
Good,
really
man.
dealing
I'm
with a
happy.
lot of shit, and I think just life kind of. I tend to allow life just to get to me.
Yeah.
I think that goes for a lot of people, but sometimes I let the little things bother me the most.
Mhm.
And then like for a time I've kind of been going through a lot with like finances. I'm okay to be open, of
Right.
course, and
Yeah.
talk about those things because it's real life things, financial situations.
Yeah.
My brother dealing with some things.
Mhm.
Being able to try to take care of the family as much as I can. Like, dude, I'm 27. I just turned 27 a month ago, and I had this thing where it's like, man, I'm 27. Shouldn't I be doing something that a 27-year-old should be doing? Maybe I should be going out partying a little bit, getting, drunk or messed up, And it's like, man, I see everyone like having all this fun, and it's like for me, it's more or less like I'm 40 already, and I'm dealing with like adulthood in the most severe way, where it's like, man, like I'm really holding a lot on my shoulders, and sometimes for me it gets a little hard. It gets a little frustrating, and it's like you get to a point where it's like, when is it going to be my time to be able to do the things that I want to do for myself?
Yeah.
But I mean, for the most part, and I know I'm kind of rambling on, but it's just like I was sitting in my room and I started like having all these just negative thoughts. Like I just couldn't win. Like I was just drowning in my sorrows. Like there was a whole 2 weeks where I couldn't do anything. My car went out. Everything just hit me like boom. Like that car went out.
Yeah.
I didn't have a car for a couple of weeks and didn't have any money. Couldn't go anywhere. Couldn't do anything. And I'm like, dude, I'm just sitting in my room like, dog, like all the negative thoughts like that you could think of just started going through my mind. Like, man, I am fucking going stir crazy in here. And it's like, sometimes you just don't know how to handle that. And like one of the things that I was, that helped me get through it was, of course, binge watching a lot of TV.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you could do in that circumstance. But yeah, man, it was just a hard time, bro. And I really appreciate you reaching out, man. That really helped me a lot.
Yeah, dude. And like with like all of that stuff that you talked about are like each individual, each one of those things is like a common experience for people, I think. Like even I would say there's even like middle-aged people that I've met when I worked in like the drug and alcohol industry. Because I mean, I didn't work with a specific age group or a gender or anything. It was just like anybody that wanted to get into like what I had to offer when it came to like recovery. like I would talk to them, and a lot of people, you would be surprised how many people feel the same way that you feel when you're looking around and it just seems like everybody else has it kind of put together.
Yeah.
Like in my in my podcast, I talked about there's the story in the back of like the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, and it's called Empty on the Inside. And this woman talks about an experience that she always felt where she would walk around like day to day and look at everybody else like in the world, and it just to her felt like everybody else at some point had been given like the directions on how to live life, and she just didn't get them.
Right.
So it looked like everybody else had things figured out. Everybody else had some way of
everybody had a blueprint.
Yeah, being responsible, a blueprint to follow, also having fun, having a community of people that cared about them around them, had no dark moments, had no worries, were financially secure, like all these other things. But you like stop like 3 different people on the street and like ask them a couple questions, and you'll find that like that's probably not the case if they're honest, at least. And when it comes to like, I don't know, like what is like when I used to think, I mean, I got sober when I was 22 and was out of the house then. And when I was like 24, 25, I was like, what the fuck is like I'm way too behind in my life. Yeah. But that's by what I think my life should be. Yeah. And
your standard.
I couldn't even tell you what that really was though. Yeah. Like I was behind for a 25-year-old. Okay, where the hell is a 25-year-old supposed to be? Yeah. In reality. Right. In this economy, no less. Right. Like it's not necessarily easy to have everything put together without just completely like selling your soul to like a bank or a credit card company. Yeah. And so there's that. A lot of other people look like things are put together. That's just a social media thing.
Yeah. It's just like, in some ways it's kind of like, yeah, that shit's fake.
Everybody, like, nobody posts like their mental breakdowns at 3:00 in the morning when they can't sleep. Like nobody's posting that to Instagram. Yeah. There's some people posting it on Facebook for attention. Yeah. And some people like you and I will like post it because it helps other people that are going through it. Yeah.
Which was really big too, because like honestly, I think like that was something that we promised that we were going to do like a while back. I know it was something that we thought about doing like mental moments, but that was just like I've already gotten like
the check-in was cool.
Yeah, it's just like
the check-in was cool.
That's I like the way you guys are doing that. Like that's so perfect. Nice. I'm like, man, that's something that we could do like every week. But yeah, like I understand 100%. Like, so what? Let me ask you this: like, ranging from 1 to 10. How has your mental health been for the past 2 weeks?
In the 2 weeks, it's been there's been a lot of like fluctuation.
Same. Sometimes things are good. Sometimes things are bad. It just depends on the day.
I would say average is like maybe like a 4. Yeah. Out of like 1 to 10, probably like a 4. So like I got like that Corolla that's in my driveway is a rental because somebody rear-ended me on 422 like 2 weeks ago. I'm pretty sure I had a mild concussion, but I think the physician's assistant in the ER room thought that I was trying to get painkillers or something. She just seemed super sus about everything that I was telling her.
That's how they are nowadays.
Whatever.
And, that's how they are.
So there's that. The guy tried to handle it like off the books and just like fix it himself, get the parts himself. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, there's got to be like at least like $2,000 worth of damages here. Yeah. Like you can't do you can't do that. And also, I don't know you. Yeah. Like
I can't even put gas in my car.
Yeah. So now my car's in the shop and the estimate's like $5,000, but his company's paying for the rental and all the repairs, and they gave me a medical settlement for going to the ER. Nice. Which is nice because that is far greater than
Yeah.
what I actually had to pay.
Yeah.
Because I have really good insurance because of what I
Yeah.
decided through my job, which is nice. So I ended up making money.
I would have been I would have been went full black. Everything hurt. My body, everything, my foot, my neck, everything hurt. But went full black in that moment.
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm just kidding.
Maybe I could have done it. I don't know. I half wanted to have him handle it, but in reality, I just can't do that.
Can you turn your head? No, I can't.
So there was that, and on the financial thing,
that's I'm glad you're good though.
Yeah. On the financial thing, in the past couple weeks, both my wife and I have had like borderline like mental breakdowns over just financial stress and financial strain, because we keep setting budgets and stuff, but they just keep not working. Yeah.
But a lot of that, I'm sure that's not because of. So is a lot of that, and I'm not trying to get into it because I deal with the same. I deal with exactly the same things every time I try to create a budget for myself. Things just slip through the cracks, and sometimes it's me,
it's
because I
need budget for.
But it's like most of the time, it's like other things that we, like you said, you don't budget for getting in an accident. You don't budget for getting things fixed on your car. And like, trust me, I totally understand that.
So there's that, because we also want to. We have like a good amount of money saved up, not enough for a down payment, but a good start. And we want to be in a house at some point next year, and that's going to be very hard to do at the rate that we're going right now. Yeah. So there was that, and that stresses me out, because where I'm at 31, having wasted a lot of my life and setting up for my future as a drug addict, like I'm making like, I don't know, like 20,000 less than her a year, maybe, if that. And that's hard for me as a man, and as somebody that knows who she is and knows how much she deserves to not have to stress financially, and deserves more of an equal partner when it comes to finances at the very least. And so all of that swirling, plus almost just like, I want to knock out like 50 people that I work with, dude. Yeah. Like, not even really. I'm just exaggerating. It's really just like 2, but like so I've just been dealing with a lot of shit, dude. Yeah. But like, so yeah. But then like getting through all of that also comes with like a really good high afterwards, right? When all that's said and done. So equals out to like a 4, maybe.
Yeah, I would say for me, just within what I've been dealing with for the past couple of weeks, it would probably be like a 3 for me, because it was just really hard. Like, people don't understand like that time. Like, I can only imagine somebody who sits in jail and just is only confined to just that space. Like, literally, I was only in my space for like.
I know what that's like.
Yeah, and dude, it was like, you talk about stir crazy. Like, you really go stir crazy, and it's not fun, it's not fun.
It's hard to eat. It's hard to shower. Yeah. It's hard to like care enough for yourself.
And all the demons just start creeping back. And it's like, oh, you're not good enough. You're not shit. You're not this. You're not that. Why aren't you doing what this person is doing? Why aren't you doing what that person is doing? And honestly speaking, dude, like, I feel like, I think we live in a time, I think for me, before I get into that, I think for me is the fact that I'm carrying so much responsibility. It's not even that I can't do the things that I want to do. I mean, I do want to go out more and have a little bit more fun, responsibly, of course. But what gets me is that, okay, I'm doing everything I can to support everybody, to support my family, but I still want to do more for them. Okay. And I feel like I can't do more for them. And it sounds like weird. But
I think it sounds weird.
Yeah, no, because I feel like, well, you're saying, because I'm saying that I want to do more for myself, but yet I'm having a hard time because I'm carrying all the responsibilities of taking care of family and taking care of those that I love, but I want to do more for them at the same time. Yeah. I think for me, I just want to be in a position where everyone is good. Everyone is okay. We don't have to have a worry in the world. We don't have to worry about finances. We don't have to worry about, things bad, bad times. I feel like I've been through enough of the bad times already. And it's like, man, and sometimes when you pray, you ask God or whatever, or whoever you may believe in, or ask for hope from, it's just like, damn, like, why do I got to keep experiencing this? Like, didn't I already go through this obstacle before? And then it's like, now I got to go through another freaking obstacle again. Like, and then it's like, damn, like, well, this is bullshit. Like, well, what's the point of life? Like, some people's like, well, life is life. And, you just, no, like,
Nick and I talk about this.
Yeah, like, I want to be, I'm not going to lie. And I'm pretty sure you're in the same way when you're just talking about, you want to be able to, you feel like as a man, you want to be able to do more. I feel like that too. We all feel like that. And I think that's why what leads to this, right? Mm-hmm. Us doing our own thing, us taking a chance on that. Because I'm going to be honest with you, with how the economy and stuff is going, it's hard for people to find a job. Good things. You know what I'm saying? It is. It's really, really hard out there for people to find things. And, I think we have a better chance of taking the opportunity on ourselves. Like, I feel like if, with you starting your podcast and me, we're doing this together, it's just like, now it's the time. This year in 2025 is the time where it's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to make it work. And because I don't, like, let's be honest. Do you want to continue to work for someone the rest of your life?
I'd rather not.
And no. Yeah, and I'm the exact same way. So it's like, well, I'm going to do the best that I can to give as much attention to this as I possibly can do. So that way down the line, I don't ever have to worry about that, because I don't want to do that. I don't want to have, like, my job's cool. Do I love what I do? Yeah, I love every bit of it. But that doesn't mean, just because I love it doesn't mean that I can't expect more out of myself or, want to be, on the same level as a CEO or,
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
But yeah, I for me, sometimes, like, with life, sometimes I am, I'm high on life and sometimes I'm not, and I think that's just the roller coaster part of it. And it's like, I'm just over the dips and dives, and I just want to be able to. Can I just get if I could just get 2 good months of just constant good flow, then I'll be great. You know what I mean? But yeah, obviously, you can't. You don't have any say so in that. So, what is it? So one of the questions that's kind of been going around is, I think I seen this on a video the other day, but somebody was asked, like, what is it that they want out of life? And I think I just kind of said, what I wanted. But for me, I think stability is more what I want than anything. It's just constant stability in my life. And I want to be able to make an impact. I feel like, with doing what we're doing and, doing the podcast, I want to be able to make an impact on the world. And, and obviously I want it to be successful. I want people to know that we care and that I care and that we go through the same experiences. But what is it that you have set for yourself? Or you're kind of still in that state of, like, what
like, if there's one thing I've always struggled with is, like, trying to figure out, like, what I want, like, for myself in the future, like, in a specific enough way where I can aim towards it. Yeah. So like I want to make like a comfortable amount of money. What does that look like? Oh, I don't know. Like, I want a job that I don't want to, like, even if I have to work with somebody else, something that I can enjoy, kind of just get in a flow state with, and I don't want to blow my fucking brains out with. Yeah. Oh, what is that? Well, I don't know. Yeah. Like, that's always my answer, is like, I don't know things. And I truly don't. But, like, when it comes to life in general, it's like a big, I feel like I think way too many different ways for a question like this sometimes. Yeah. I like the whole leaving an impact thing. Mm-hmm. I think I would like to make a difference. I think I would probably word it that way. Mm-hmm. I like being helpful to other people. Sure. Yeah. But I don't like it when that's my job. So, like, that's always, like, out the window. Yeah. Like, that's why I left the treatment industry. Yeah. And
Do you think people appreciate? Do you think people appreciate that type of help?
What?
A lot of the time, you say helping people, right? You think?
Yeah.
Do you think that kind of goes unappreciated sometimes from people?
Like, I have a view of that of like, that's not why I do it. Like, I do it because it makes me feel really good.
Yeah.
And it's like a win-win, selfish kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I do it. Well, I do it because other people did it for me. And like, honestly, my viewpoint is I don't really care if people reciprocate. I don't care if people appreciate it. I don't care if people say thank you. Yeah. I don't do any of that because I know what I'm about is like, when I die, I'm going to be with me. Like, hopefully my wife is there. Yeah. Well, hopefully, like, I don't know. I have a whole thing about who should die first, but like, in terms of like what would be the better experience for her. Yeah. Like, if she went first, she wouldn't have to live without me, which would probably be better for her, right? Yeah. So like, but I don't want to say I want her to die because that sounds fucked up. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, but when my head hits the pillow at night and my eyes close, her thoughts are not in my head. Right. My thoughts are in my head. My conscience is in my head. Right. My past is in my head. My fear of the future and the unknown is in my head. Right. So I have to deal with me, my side of the street. Everybody else is everybody else. Yeah. What everybody else is doing, what other people think of me, what other people do or don't do is their business and none of mine. Yeah. And like, because when I start getting into that, dude, like whether people appreciate me, whether people say thank you, whether people reciprocate, whether I need to like keep a like, whether I need to like keep a friend around because they're being a friend enough by my standards, like as long as I'm doing the right thing and just bringing God into everything, which is love and acceptance, excuse me, and like altruism and a willingness to carry that altruism out, then like I'm fine. Like you can hurt me like a million ways to fucking Sunday. Yeah. I might not trust you again, but I'll forgive you and like I'll never hate you. Ever. And like that's just my thing.
Do you enjoy, I touched on this actually on the mental check-in because it was very, very important. I feel like that's something that we need to talk about a lot more. You know, it seems like some people enjoy being in their own space rather than being around a lot of people. I think I've said that before, like I can't see myself being in big crowds or anything like that. I'm all about energy. And at the end of the day, if I walk into a room and it's 5 people, I instantly get a burst of anxiety.
Fair.
And reason being is because I don't know how to read other people's energies. You know, I can feel it. Like I can, you know what I mean? Once I'm in it and I'm in there for like a couple minutes, it's like, man, I don't know. This is probably not me. Like big crowds, I can't do because it's just too many characteristics, too many different types of energy. And it just doesn't mix well. I'm more of a laid back person. Okay. And I don't feel like, when I'm in a room with a lot of people, I feel like I have to go, at that point, something clicks in my mind where it's like, okay, well, I have to be, even though I try to be myself, I feel like I always have to do the extra things to make them like me or make me more likable to them. Mm-hmm. You know, and
you're a people pleaser.
Yeah, I'm a people pleaser. Yeah. And sometimes it makes me very uncomfortable because it's like, man, like now I got to go. Like I said, I'm laid back. I'm a chill guy. Now I got to go out of my comfort zone to make you like me. Well, and I used to be stuck in that shit for a long time where it's like, oh, I just want them to know I want to be liked. And then now I'm like, dude, like,
well, you also realize like that's a self-imposed thing. Yeah. Like nobody told you have to make everybody like you. Like you kind of just did that to yourself. And I'm saying that because
But then you get that one person that's in the room though. Like, but you get that one person that's in the room that you know, like you have that feeling like that guy doesn't fucking like me.
Whatever.
Like, yeah. Like, but have you felt that way though? Like, have you never? Yeah. Like,
no, dude. Like, everybody
like me. I could tell.
There's so many other people that have been like people pleasers before. Yeah. I used to be have so much of a people pleaser mentality that I just wouldn't say anything at all. Yeah. Because, well, it was that mixed with like insecurities because I thought I was like a fucking weirdo in a way where like nobody would like me and nobody would want to talk to me.
And they'll say, "Why you're quiet? Why are you quiet?"
And and I would get a lot of that too.
Yeah, like, why are you so quiet?
I would have like a mini like, if I had a gun there, I probably would have shot myself as soon as somebody asked me that. Like it was
No way.
it was just.
That's not funny. By
It was
the way.
just.
My
bad, dude.
Yeah, he's funny, but yeah, but no, I get it.
I had an attempt, dude. I can joke about that. But when people would point out how weird I was being because I was trying to not be weird and be like, but why are you so quiet? And I was just like,
but then when you start talking, sometimes people think, oh, it's weird. Like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like,
maybe they think that.
Sometimes you feel like you're backed in a corner. It's like, well, I can't freaking win in this situation. So like for me, like that's why I'm like, you know what? Right. I don't go anywhere.
But again, that's another self-imposed thing that can be worked on.
Of course.
Like that's something that I tried to work on in rehab. It's actually the main thing I tried to work on when I was in rehab, because I was like with this friend group that I just really didn't fit in with. Mm-hmm. Like they tried to go to like the local basketball court, play basketball every day. Everyone had like the white tee and ball shorts on, but like I'm like
about to drop an And One mixtape,
wearing like skinny jeans and like reading Thrasher magazines like in the grocery stores and shit with like my long carrot top hair. Yeah. And
you play basketball in skinny jeans?
No, okay. That's what I'm saying. I was just, I know. Well, I did that because those people got high and drank like I did, and that's why I was hanging with them. And my skateboarder friends and like other people like weren't really like that.
Yeah.
And but I had to get high and drunk because that's how I got out of all of these thoughts that we're talking about here.
Yeah.
That's how I drowned all that shit out instead of working on it productively.
Yeah.
But like I would just end up smoking a bunch of pot or like doing a bunch of drugs and getting drunk and just sitting there like this.
Yeah.
And just being quiet.
Yeah.
Just being quiet. But I felt like I wasn't in my head outside of social anxiety, but that was a fucking walk in the park compared to what I usually walked around with.
Yeah.
But in rehab, dude, I just said, you know what? Like, I'm just going to start saying like the first thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah.
In conversations.
Yeah.
And it turns out I am like as weird as I thought I was. Yeah. But it's not as socially unacceptable as I thought it was.
Yeah.
Like
I'm starting to think that I'm a little weird too. Like I'm not gonna lie. And I'm embracing the hell out of it. It's like, bro, like cause like you said, like the first thing that comes to your mind, like, yeah, I'm just gonna.
It's so cliche.
It's just gonna come out.
But like there's like there's no standard personality written down anywhere. Like weird like implies like abnormal, but there's no normal that like you can point to.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And I don't know, dude, I just started being me. I got tired of caring about what people thought. I got tired of wasting so much fucking energy just like letting other people rent that kind of space in my head.
Yeah.
When like ultimately, think of how many times I've felt that way in a situation with somebody that was temporary. Mm-hmm. They're not in my life anymore, but I let them and what they thought take over me in that very moment. Mm-hmm. And for what?
Yeah.
I'm not married to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, dude. There's just way more important things to worry about than what somebody else thinks of me.
Yeah, and now I'm starting to realize that a lot more. It's like I don't care what people have to think about me. Like if I'm just gonna be me. You know,
and you can do that without me, and you don't have to be a dick either. Like,
no.
Just pass.
And I've tried that, but all that did was make things worse. It's like, well, why am I even doing this?
Because then you're being isolated for real.
And then at that point when you do that, then it makes nobody want to hang with you. It makes nobody want to be around you. And that's the worst thing that you can do to yourself. You know, and some people do like it like that. They just like being alone, being to themselves.
Isolation, especially when you fall into it accidentally, can be a real bitch, dude.
Yeah, you learn a lot being isolated, though. You learn a lot about yourself being isolated and away from everybody. But it's not always good to stay that way. You know, it's not good at all.
No,
because then now at that point, now you're being in your own head all the time. And that's the worst thing you could possibly do is be in your head.
That was like towards the end of my drinking and using. Like that was my MO, was just not leaving the house unless it was to go get whatever with whoever I was getting it with.
Yeah.
And then we would get back into town and then we would go our separate ways. Right. And then I was alone until I ran out and had to get some more shit.
Nice.
For a long time, dude. I was diagnosed with schizophrenia when I was in rehab.
Oh, wow.
I'm not schizophrenic. I don't think.
Yeah. But you think at the time when you're on drugs and stuff like that, sometimes doesn't that trigger that?
I mean, if you're like,
like of course, like you won't be fully schizo, like where it's like you're going to be like that for the rest of you. Like it's just some certain moments where you're taking certain things. Doesn't that trigger like
when you're like on meth or when you're on meth, it's very easy to stay up for like a week at a time and not sleep.
Yeah.
And at that point, you are going into like psychosis because of lack of sleep, and like that's just about it.
Yeah.
Not that it's like a trivial thing or whatever. Like it's a serious thing.
Right.
And that was partially like what I went into when I was going through like Suboxone withdrawal.
Yeah.
Because I slept for like 3 hours a week for like 30 days when I was white knuckling the withdrawal at my parents' house.
Jeez.
And then I was slipping into psychosis and starting to hallucinate and like having conversations with people that weren't there. And the therapist brought it to rehab was like diagnosed me as, I forget if it was like, I forget what kind of schizophrenia it was.